Okay, so the first epistemological problem the historian faces is a simple one. It's that the sources themselves really do not provide us with an awful lot of evidence. The sources are the raw material of history. That's what the past has left behind, and ultimately the past leaves very little behind. And of course, what distinguishes history from literature is that the historian cannot claim to know what happened in the past unless they have that evidence from the traces that have been left behind. So ultimately the past is largely unknowable. And secondly, unlike the social scientists who can observe their subject directly, historians cannot. I mean, a sociologist can observe bullying up close. They can even set up an experiment. They can put cameras in place and microphones and record what is said. They can even intervene and ask questions. And, you know, in the absence of time travel, historians cannot do that. They cannot go back to 1914 and ask Franz Ferdinand to duck. Finally, in the quote we read earlier, we saw that the past comes down to us through broken fragments. And that's true. Most of the past doesn't come down to us. And the bits that do come down were broken. And they're broken in a sense that they're not typical or representative. We know very little about medieval peasant women because they didn't leave us much of a record. We tend to know an awful lot more, therefore, about the great and the good, the powerful and the influential. And when the powerful and influential are leaving records, they can actually deliberately leave records intended to influence how they will be interpreted in future. I mean, Churchill's a great example when he famously said about, you know, history being kind to him, in that he intended to write that history. Ultimately then, a lot of what we get from the past is accidental. The evidence only speaks to historians indirectly, with no guarantee that the evidence will actually answer the question that the historians pose.